Hey everyone, welcome back to Chat and Chat. My name is Josh.
मेरा नाम Miguel.
Oh वाह क्या बात है बहुत बढ़िया यार.
I throw you off. See?
वही तो हम सोनू के टीटू की स्वीटी देख रहे हैं. ये पार्ट 3 है. तो अगर अब तक पार्ट 1 या पार्ट 2 नहीं देखा, फिर इस वीडियो के नीचे
In the link below.
No.
You can find the link. Watch part 1 and part 2 and come back and join us for part 3.
हाँ, और ये हमारे पोल विनर है. तो अगर वोट किया आपने, बहुत शुक्रिया. और अगर नहीं तो क्यों नहीं, इस वीडियो के नीचे हमारे पेट्रियन लिंक मिल सकते हैं, जहां पर वॉच अलॉन्ग्स, अर्ली एक्सेस, मेंबर्स पोल्स और
Live streams.
मिल सकते हैं. और अगर अब तक नहीं किया, सब्सक्राइब करो, शेयर करो और लाइक बटन पर थप्पड़ मारो.
अकेली आई हूँ, दुखी नहीं दिखना है, माँ खुश दिखना है. अकेली आई हूँ.
Yeah.
Yo, did he pay? Maybe he paid her to go.
प्यू रोना बंद कर.
बंद कर मतलब न ले क्या आ रहा ना अपने आप.
देख रोएगी तो उसको लगेगा ना कि अब भी फीलिंग्स है तुझे.
तो फीलिंग्स है ना.
हाँ लेकिन उसको नहीं पता चल सकता ना. उसे दिखाना है कि तू मूव ऑन कर गई है, तभी तो टाइम स्पेंड करेगा तेरे साथ.
वो स्वीटी के साथ खुश है सोनू. मैंने उसकी आंखों में देखा. मैं ऐसे ही नाच रही हूँ यहाँ बैकलेस पहन के.
सुन थम जा.
All of a sudden, she got so much morality.
Yeah.
रीबाउंड में शादी कर रहा है बेचारा, उसको खुद को नहीं पता. मैं तो हमेशा से मानता हूँ तू और टीटू मेड फॉर ईच अदर हो.
Oh, jeez.
और आज जैसे उसने तुझे देखा ना, मुझे यकीन हो गया कि टीटू अगर किसी का है तो पीयू का. मेरे जाने के 2 मिनट बाद आना और कहना अंशुल का फोन.
कौन अंशुल?
तेरे ऑफिस वाला.
उसका क्या कनेक्शन है?
देख फिर ऐसे नहीं मिलना टीटू तुझे. दिमाग लगाएगी तो ये नहीं होगा.
She's not that smart.
No.
Not following.
But he's not that great either,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of where they are. That doesn't look like.
कहीं देखी क्या?
नहीं, आई थिंक मुझे देख के थोड़ा अनकंफर्टेबल.
सॉरी कॉल आ गया था.
बॉयफ्रेंड?
अंशुल मिलाया था ना एक बार.
ओ हाँ वो पब में.
Okay. I guess they're. Oh, whoa, shit.
Whoa!
Hard.
She went all out. Okay.
Oh, what is he even feeling right now? Oof. I don't know, man, but playing the game. But he is. I don't know how I feel about this whole situation.
Yeah, this is.
It's so complicated because I feel bad for Titu, but he's the kind of a simple guy that gets pulled like
Easily.
Like gets manipulated by someone just looking at him.
Yeah.
जहर को जहर मारते हैं.
ये जहर उस जहर से बेटर कैसे है?
ये जहर मैंने पिया है और वक्त पड़ने पर चूस के थूका भी है. और उससे भी बड़ी बात घसीटे, इसने कभी मुझे चैलेंज नहीं किया था.
He's like, this is the poison that I have an antidote for.
Yeah.
वो जगह पसंद नहीं आ रही, यहाँ से चल.
नो.
ये कहाँ चल रही है?
तू इस हालत में अकेला छोड़ दे.
True, you can't. Yeah.
तेरा कॉल. मैं मना कर देता हूँ अगर तू अनकंफर्टेबल है तो.
Oh no. Okay, that's too many. She is gonna get.
But she said that they were very watered down, so.
Okay, they gotta move quick because how long are they even here for?
Titu.
हाँ स्वीटी सुनो.
भाभी जी, भैया बैचलर पार्टी में है, फोन पे नहीं आ सकते. 3 दिन तक कोई फोन नहीं. 3 दिन तक कोई फोन नहीं.
He's gotta cut that connection. He
Yeah,
might
but I
have a
suspect
chance.
she might show up.
Oh no,
She's
not to a bachelor party. That would look so bad. Oh. No boys allowed. Wow.
Mm.
See, but even if something happens between them, he's got a lot of. Oh, he paid him. Oh, but he's just, even if he goes and says, look, I made a mistake, here's what happened. I mean, Sweetie's just going to be like, okay, no problem. Right? Because she's not after it. Like, she doesn't care.
I really had a great time.
Me too.
झूठ तुम्हारी तो पार्टी खराब हो गई बैचलर्स पे एक्स के साथ अटक गए कुछ करने को ही नहीं मिला
और ये सोच के वियर्ड लगता है कि स्वीटी को पता नहीं
बताया नहीं उसको
सोनू ने फोन छीन रखा है 3 दिनों से
कमीना बोल रहा है दोस्त है हम शादी कर रहा है और इनवाइट तक नहीं कैसे और बोल रहा है दोस्त है
ये कौन होता है बुलाने वाला? मैं बुला रहा हूँ तुझे।
Oh, yes.
चल जाके पैकिंग करती है फिर
उसको क्यों इनवाइट किया
यार वो ऐसे बोल रही थी तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना। और तुझे क्या टेंशन है? तू सच बता मुझे, कहीं तुझे अब भी इसके लिए फीलिंग्स तो नहीं है ना?
ये है क्या
तू डिसाइड कर ले, मैं बोल देता हूँ ना है, बट
आने दे
एज यू विश।
He is easy to manipulate.
Oh, I love that reveal.
What a surprise! स्वीटी, पीहू, टीटू की बहुत पुरानी दोस्त है।
पता है
Oh.
हाय
Oh, you can feel the tension between them.
I'm Shali Sweety's cousin Shali
Now, are the relatives she's introducing real relatives,
Yeah,
or are they
that's
just
one
actors?
question. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
come Titu
Yeah.
Scoot. Oh, this is going to be interesting because he's so used to both girls bossing him around. Now he's going to be caught in the. Oh, jeez.
अरे पीहू भाभी दीदी कैसे हो
कैसा है बब्बू तेरी सास ठीक हुई कि नहीं
Wait, she knows her?
फेसबुक मेरे पास भी है
Oh.
ये कौन पीहू
Acha. That was such a good smile.
कौन है ये अरे ये टीटू और सोनू की दोस्त है सिंगल है
Oh, the music stopped right at the perfect time for that.
हमारी पुरानी दोस्त है, वहाँ टकरा गई, दिल्ली आ रही थी, हमने इनवाइट कर लिया।
बहुत अच्छा किया तुम लोग यही रहने वाले हो ना
हाँ मतलब
यही रहना संगीत में मेरा डांस
It's all falling into place.
एक्स गर्लफ्रेंड को कोई इनवाइट करता है अपनी शादी में स्वीटी के घर वालों को पता चलेगा तो कैसे लगेगा
टीटू को कोई दिक्कत नहीं है आपको?
स्वीटी को पता है क्या
क्या पता है?
ये इसकी एक्स है
ऑफ कोर्स पता है।
टीटू को दिक्कत हो ना हो स्वीटी को हो सकती है
मम्मी को लग रहा है कि पीयू के यहाँ रहने से तुम्हें दिक्कत है।
Oh.
बिल्कुल नहीं मम्मी
बस, अरे ये लोग तो ऑलरेडी फ्रेंड्स बन गए। आपको कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं लग रहा कि टीटू को अब भी फीलिंग्स है पीयू के लिए?
He has a little bit of Akshay Kumar kind of running through him a little when he does that.
Oh, well, that line there sounded, yeah.
साड़ी अच्छी लग रही थी
रोके के बाद कभी पहनी नहीं थी
तो चेंज क्यों की
अनकंफर्टेबल
मैं पीयू को बोल दूं अपने घर पे रहे
मान गई तो
क्यों
अनकंफर्टेबल
तुम हो
No.
तुझे निकाल दे तो कमजोर दिखेगी।
मैं क्यों
ओए कितने
शॉपिंग शादी में एम्स्टरडम वाले कपड़े तो नहीं पहन सकती ना
Oh, no. How could it be? What?
She's trying not to cry.
एक बात पूछूं स्वीटी और मुझ में फर्क क्या है ऐसा क्या किया मैंने या ऐसा क्या नहीं किया कि कार्ड पे उसका नाम है
She's like, oh, yeah, I can win him.
Yeah, because Sonu's like, if I don't know how to play the game, I need to bring someone in that does.
किसी को कुछ चाहिए तो बता दो, टीटू घर की साइड ही है।
सरोजनी तो नहीं जाएगा वो
अरे क्यों नहीं जाएगा आंटी जरूर जाएगा
वेंगस की पेशी खाने का बहुत मन हो रहा है बेस्ट कौन क्या क्या खाएगा लिख के दे दो
The more errands they have, the more time they spend together.
अरे स्वीटी गार्डन में टहल रही हो इतनी रात को टीटू नहीं आया अब तक
Oh, wow.
अरे टीटू कहाँ रह गया था तू स्वीटी कब से वेट कर रही है तेरा खाना भी नहीं खाया तेरे चक्कर में चल सबसे पहले इसके साथ खाना खा
एक बाइट और खाएगा तो फट जाएगा मोटा।
Oh.
मेरी पेस्ट तो नहीं खाई ना इसने?
तुम्हारी पेस्ट्री सॉरी लिखी नहीं थी मैसेज में।
Oh, the cannoli!
Oh, he did because she knew.
मेरा सामान तो रख दो कमरे से।
हाँ चलो सोने जाते कल सुबह जल्दी भी उठना
Oops. And all the leaf petals just fell at the same time.
Yeah, well, that was totally not planned. Mingling with the family like that and really getting, yeah, she's making great connections right now.
Right. He sent a hitman to take a cousin out.
Whoa. I love that all the uncles have come around to helping him out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
She's gonna push her off into the pool.
It would look really bad if she does. Is it gonna backfire on her though?
Yeah. That's the best thing to do. Yeah.
Oh.
he's like, girl, he's the
gonna play that
hero.
game.
You made the drama. He made this. He made the save.
She's like, my hero. Oh, she looks so petty doing that though.
Kiss of death. There's got to be one other, like, just Savo.
Oh no. She's gonna take her out in private. And stuff the body in the closet. They don't even have to say anything.
She gonna offer her money or something like that?
Yeah, there's a deal going down. Oh no.
तुमने मुझसे ब्रेकअप क्यों किया था?
Gonna blame him.
Oh no.
Yeah.
मेरा एम्स्टर्डम में आना कोई कोइंसिडेंस नहीं था। सोनू ने बुलाया था मुझे।
Okay. She figures I'll blow up the whole entire thing.
मैं मिलाऊंगा तुझे और टीटू को। तू बस मुझे फॉलो करती जा। और मैं पागल। कार्ड पे अपना नाम देखने के चक्कर में उसकी हर बात मानती रही। उसने बोला स्वीटी गलत लड़की है। उसने कहा टीटू खुश नहीं है। मान लिया। उसने कहा टीटू अभी भी तुझसे प्यार करता है।
But you know what? Everything she's saying is true. And so it's all a matter of whether he believes her and Sonu.
बेवकूफ हो। सेल्फिश भी।
Yep. And that's truthful.
कमीनी नहीं।
Yeah, did not think about that part.
टीटू आई नो ये कैसा दिख रहा है बट मेरे पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था तू जानता नहीं इसको ये गेम खेल रही है इसने अपने मुंह से मुझको बोला है एंगेजमेंट वाले दिन और तुझे क्या लगता है तू कुछ भी
Okay. All right, fine.
No, Titu is finally gonna stand up for himself, but he may wish that he didn't.
कल शादी है मेरी दारू पीने आ जाना।
What does that mean?
It means that he's not like the ceremony, but only for,
Drinks afterwards?
yeah, basically only the part where, yeah. Oof. That was bad.
She gonna get hers. Because there's an ace coming out here.
I guess you just have to let it play out now, and then when
yeah.
she burns him, then it is what it is. But if she's done this before, like married and then divorced, maybe there's some sort of Evidence.
Yeah. But see, he's thinking about it. No, I am not coming. Does he have to do it on her too?
No.
Just him?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he will.
I just.
Yeah, he's like not even gonna look at her. Oof.
तुम खुश हो ना? आज मेरी शादी है. मैं चाहती हूँ सब खुश हो बस.
I'd say nothing and just walk away.
Now's the time to record her.
मैंने ये तो सोचा था कि लात पड़ेगी. ये नहीं सोचा था कि इतनी जल्दी पड़ेगी.
तू वो जानती है जो टीटू तुझे बताता है. मैं वो जानता हूँ जो टीटू खुद को भी नहीं बताता.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's true.
गलती मेरी. मैं तुझे हराने में लग गया था. मैं भूल गया था कि मुद्दा तुझे हराने का नहीं, टीटू को बचाने का.
Oh.
और बात अगर टीटू को
There is a
बचाने की है,
difference.
तो तू घोड़े खोल ले. आज रात तेरी डोली नहीं उठेगी.
कर लो ट्राई. लेकिन एक बात बताऊं. दोस्ती और लड़की में हमेशा लड़की जीतती है.
She had to get the last word in.
Of course. It's all about the manipulation.
अब कोई प्लान नहीं का सीट है.
तो रुक, मैं सॉर्ट करता हूँ ये सैपा.
उसने कहा है मुझसे, दोस्ती और लड़की में हमेशा लड़की जीतती है. तो अब या तो दोस्त जिताएगा या फिर ठीक है.
Yeah. This is going to be tough.
बर्थडेज पे कॉल कर लिया करेंगे. दारू पी के अपनी दोस्ती के किस्से सुना लिया करेंगे.
But here's the thing. Between a friend and a girl, but he's more than a friend, he's like a brother.
Exactly.
So between a brother and a girl,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And to be there, maybe he's gonna see. Because the whole thing is he's like, he knows me for so many years. I don't think he'd try to deceive me without a purpose, maybe?
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of how
Yeah,
this is possibly
it'd
gonna
be
go.
really hard. I mean, I'm thinking through, and if I'm like going, if I had someone that much, that was that close to me, really trying to do something. He also isn't reading the room very well either. He's not looking.
And her family really has not been a part of this,
Exactly.
which is very strange.
Yeah. Wow.
So pretty.
Mm-hmm. And now, will he marry her?
One last try.
क्या ये सच्ची, क्या मैं झूठा? बात सिर्फ इतनी सी है टीटू, या तो ये या मैं.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's tough. He played the part all the way to the end.
Yep. Well, and the thing is that him walking away right now, because if he does marry her, it's the same thing. She will never let him be around. So him walking away,
Right, that's
he's
true.
telling him, this is what you'll get,
Yeah.
okay,
You're
if
right.
you marry her. In other words, he is so willing to walk away.
दो ऑप्शंस है तुम्हारे पास. या तो ये मान लो कि मैं सच बोल रही हूँ. मैं जिंदगी भर ये सोचूं कि शायद वो सही था.
He's always told him the truth, even when he didn't like it.
बात अगर ये है ना स्वीटी, कि या तो तू या वो.
Whoa!
Bye, girl. It's the power of friendship.
Mm-hmm. He's happy.
Yeah, he's like,
मैं ना दांत तोड़ दूंगा तेरे. ऐसे तो कुंवारे ही मर जाएंगे हम. मुझे कब पता चला कि गलत है?
खुद अपने मुंह से बताया था उसने एंगेजमेंट वाले दिन.
तो उस दिन बोल देता ना.
जगवार बुक करा दी थी ऑलमोस्ट मैंने.
अकेले लड़ाऊं मैं, तू मजे ले रहा था बस.
मेरा ना लाइफ का उसूल है, ये इंसान को कभी मत बताओ कि वो
तो लालू ने 500 के 2 नोट दिए थे डेट चेंज करवाने के लिए। मैंने 22 दिसंबर निकाली थी, उन्होंने 22 अक्टूबर करवा दी। अब गलत डेट पे शादी करेंगे तो शादी तो टूटेगी ना।
लो कैटरिंग का बिल, ये लाइट वाले का और ये लोकेशन वाले का और ये भी एक बिल कच्चा।
It's still going to be a lot cheaper than if she swindled all their cash away.
लेकिन बहन जी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड। मुझे मत समझाइए, अपने बच्चेलन बेटे को समझाइए। ओए बच्चेलन किसको बोल रही है? तू बच्चेलन, तेरी बेटी बच्चेलन। दिख रहा है कौन बच्चेलन है, किस तरह बात कर रही है।
वो अकेला निकला या सब निकले?
मुझे क्या पता पीछे कौन कौन निकला। मैं निकला तो मुड़ के थोड़ी देख सकता था। पूरा टशन ही खत्म हो जाता।
Right. It's like it was a scene.
It was a scene.
You can't ruin the scene.
कसम से ऊपर वाले ने अच्छी लड़कियां बनाना ही बंद कर दिया।
कोई ना, मैं हूं ना।
तू है मतलब?
सोनू मेरी डार्लिंग, आई नो तेरी भी नीड्स है।
कि मैं सेक्स के लिए शादी का नहीं सोच रहा हूँ।
तो सोच क्यों रहा है?
क्या हो गया?
What? Oh, I was hoping there was going to be something. Okay, here it is. No, just. Yeah, I don't know then, because I thought she was going to have a breakdown. We're going to find out because I thought it was going to be. Okay, here's the ending that I thought. Maybe it was. Maybe they left it open so you could figure out it on your own. I don't know. Okay, I thought it was going to be that they were going to have some childhood thing where she was like connected with them. They went to school. Like maybe she was made fun of by him or something like that. And so she grew into be like a very beautiful girl or something. And she came back to like mess with him or destroy his life or something. I thought there was going to be almost like a flashback there at the scene when he was going to leave her. And then she was going to like have like a meltdown, breakdown where it's like, oh yeah, because this is who you are. And then she was going to have this emotional moment where she was going to tell the whole backstory, why she's after him, why she's doing all of this. But we never got it. So that's my story. That's what I'm thinking, is that there was some reason in their past that he jilted her, or there was a family feud going on that he was unaware of, but then she was like tied into her family, like in another sweet shop that was a competitor, and then she was going in to destroy
That
their
would have
sweet
been an interesting one.
you know?
Yeah.
And then so it was like her duty to like go and infiltrate the other sweet shop and take them down. So that is like kind of a hole that they never really filled, because
the only thing that they kind of said, well, but we said there was the one song, Gold Digger.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like going, okay, so you just made her out to be a gold digger?
But they never really explained that, because she had so many opportunities to steal money and stuff, and she never did.
And it never really it didn't seem that way. And maybe she was waiting until she was married, so then she truly had, you know, she was the next in line to control the money.
And it didn't really seem like he had all that inheritance, because it wasn't like he had the money, because it was his family's money, right?
Right.
So even if she got married to him, then divorced him immediately, like what would there be for, like they'd split the assets of what they had, which was the house. And then what else? Maybe there was a car. He was talking about buying a Jaguar for him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be it. Would that really be worth it to get married and then divorced? And then you'd have that next time you're trying to pull the same stunt, there'd be a record of your divorce. Like, I don't know. It just seems pretty hollow. Like, when you think about it, I enjoyed the movie for all the shenanigans and stuff that it was. But I was really hoping that there was going to be something more behind it, because we didn't really get the sense that she was taking the money, other than the only thing that she did that was kind of evil was during the engagement. She said, yeah, I'm evil. You should have been suspicious of me because I am evil. But other than that, it was just kind of like she was just wanting to get married and protect her like relationship. So I don't know. I wish they would have had either one, like her have more of an objective, like more character traits of hers that would lead us to believe on the second half that she was doing something shady.
Because otherwise she just came off as a hard-driven, good-looking woman.
Right.
You know, and is like, okay, but that doesn't explain enough, you know, for this kind of evilness and game playing and manipulation.
Maybe we had it completely wrong about the gold digging thing. Maybe they shouldn't have had that song play, because here's maybe what it was. is that her first relationship that they were talking about, that she almost got married, they were like, maybe what he was saying was actually true, that she was very controlling, very, has to be her way. And we saw a couple traits of hers that it does have to be that way. And even the, her housekeeper guy that she hired, Babu, that he was scared of her. Right? And so she was so controlling that he was doing everything that she said, and that's the relationship that she liked. And we saw it with him trying on the karta, and she's like, no, not that one, this one.
Yeah.
And her being controlling, she's like, I'm the only one that's going to be in your life, so your friend's got to go.
Right.
And so for maybe at the engagement party, what actually happened was her saying that he's going to be mine, he's not going to be part of you, like no part is going to be with you, you're going to be kicked out, and that's the mission, that's the goal. Not the whole like money thing, because there was no money thing about it, and it didn't make any sense. So that song playing maybe like gave us the wrong impression.
Yeah, maybe.
And so maybe the thing is that she was just so controlling. She's like, I'm going to control his life. Maybe she wasn't even planning on divorcing him, and she was going to just stick with him because she was going to have a good life. She would be able to control it. She'd get everything she wanted, and maybe that was it. Maybe that's enough, for that to be the wrong reason to get married. I don't know. But what I do know is that they didn't really make it clear, and they maybe sent cross signals. So
Well, and then again, she's now standing at the altar being
crying, and I feel bad for her because
and I
she
do
just
feel
got
a little,
left.
but I'm like going, why is she crying?
Right.
I'm like going, is she crying that she got bested? Is she crying because she's not getting money?
Yeah.
Is she crying because she's not getting the man of her desires and love? It's just so ambiguous. And in a way, it's like, I guess in a way, it's almost like it kind of reinforces a little bit of women are in the back seat in the relationship a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
No, but I don't know what that means. But so if I was going to read into her crying there at the end, maybe she came to realize what he was saying is that how he said it and all that, she's like, dang, he's actually a really nice guy, and I could have maybe had a happy life with him, and now he's leaving me just because I tried to separate him and his best friend, right? Because if we take away the money thing out of all of this,
if we take
right?
away the money thing,
and then think of her actually maybe liking him, but saying, I want all of him and I'm going to control his life. But now she's getting left because she tried to control someone. But she did realize through this whole time that he's actually a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's like very caring, very sweet, very forgiving, very loving. All of these things, he's a great package, right?
Right.
So for her there at the altar, what was going on maybe in her mind, and I'm just reading into this, is if you take out all the money stuff and just think of her as the controlling type, then she just realizes what she lost.
Yeah,
and that would mean she played
it too hard.
Yeah. And I think that is maybe what she came to realize.
Yeah.
And this is, again, something that I'm trying to read into and try to think of where maybe her mind is at,
Yeah.
and why she didn't have a breakdown is because of that. So, but these are things that you have to like stop and think about. And a movie like this, I don't think they meant to be that deep. Maybe they did, but I'm surprised that they didn't try to explain a little bit more and to give us more information based on that. But it was still fun throughout, but not having that payoff in the end, because I was so ready for her to lose and just like, have that like scene where she just like, fine, and she starts like breaking everything, and then we're like, oh my gosh, and show her true colors.
And show her true colors, because
that's what
again,
I wanted.
We don't know what her true colors and her true
we just
intent
guess.
And everything. It's just a total guess, and it's like, okay, some of the hard manipulation that she was using and the scare tactics of, well, I'm basically, use this law against them, I'm like going, and even, what she did to basically be able to do that, I think that goes well beyond, it was too extreme. I mean, even if she was, I really want this guy, it's like, I don't know, it just came off exceedingly cringy.
I have an idea. So if you think about it, the codependency that Sonu and Titu had together, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she had the codependency with Babu. Okay? Hear me out.
Okay.
So she needed him because they were clearly together for a while, because he knows everything that she wanted, how she likes her food cooked, what she needs when she wants tea, how she likes the food, all that stuff, right? she caught the look that Sonu gave Babu when he played this trick to get him kicked out. This is well before Sonu even suspected anything about Sweety, right?
Yeah.
So he separated them, and maybe she saw that look and said, wait, you manipulated this whole situation to get him out of my life? That's messed up. And now I'm going to manipulate this situation and get you kicked out of Titu's life. And because if you think about it, it's almost foreshadowing what happened in the next act, is because he did all these manipulations and stuff to get him kicked out. And so in the next act, she does all these manipulation stuff to get him kicked out of Titu's life. So I don't know. That's really reading into it.
That is really reading into it.
But if you think about it, it was foreshadowing in a way,
it
because
was,
that same playfulness, why else would you introduce a character like Babu, right?
Yeah.
Why would you do it? So
yeah.
So maybe she's like, oh, you snake, I'm going to get you back. Anyway, this is, again, taking the whole gold digger, because I really don't think the gold digger thing plays into this storyline at all. So
it doesn't
you just got to throw it out the window.
Yeah, so... it's interesting, though. They also kept throwing out this, she's too perfect, their family's too perfect and all that. And I'm like going, you know, perfect is totally relative. You know, what is normal and perfect and weird and all that, all those labels is so dependent on the viewer, okay?
Yeah.
Someone could say, that's weird, and another person could say, that's totally normal, you know? And so he was really saying, she's too perfect, her family's too perfect, she's too ideal and all this. And it's like, okay, well, you know, you got to read a little bit and take that back to yourself. Why do I think it's too perfect? Okay, because, you know, she's beautiful. Okay, there are beautiful people in the world, okay? She's sweet and loving. There are people that are sweet and loving, you know, just because maybe you haven't run into them before, maybe that says you may not be so sweet and loving and you may not hang out with the right people. So there was that element too that kind of came through, and I'm like going, well, okay, and then that made you highly suspicious of her, and then you forced her into a corner because you thought she was too sweet, and you know, suddenly, you know, if anyone's trapped in a corner and they're feeling threatened, they might kind of come out of the corner fighting a little bit.
Well, again, it wasn't that she was too perfect. I mean, that's what he was saying and stuff. But in reality, she wasn't, because everyone has their flaws and stuff. And it's about what you can accept.
Exactly.
Now, in a relationship, like, I'm going to throw it out there. My dad and my mom, they actually make a perfect combo, because my dad knows that he needs somebody to hold the leash, right? And my mom, she's very controlling, but he accepts that. And he's like, no, I have no idea. He's like, I need someone to help me out here, because without someone there, I'm a wreck, you know? And I know this, and they talk about this, and they're like, no, she's the boss, and I know she's the boss. And in their family, even in Titu's family, like, the women were kind of the boss.
Yeah.
They ruled the house, they ruled the money, like she had the keys to the money, right? And so in reality, Sweety probably would have been able to fit right in, and Titu could have been right there with her and just been just like his grandpa and have the grandma. She would be just like the grandma. So would it have been a bad marriage? Probably not, because like Titu is the type of guy that would be susceptible and okay with that control, because he was. You know, when he had to change his, like, oh, fine, like whatever, right? So, but this movie, I think at its core was trying to be about friendship. But what I wish it had was another payoff to make it more certain that it was about friendship, which is you basically have to accept when people make their own mistakes. Like, yes, you be there and you help them, and you try to like give them good advice. But if they refuse to take your advice, you just basically have to let them make those mistakes and be there for them when those mistakes come to fruition, right? And that's what it is to really be a friend, is you try to advise with your best intentions and heart into it, but at the end of the day, it's still Titu's decision.
Right.
And so if you say basically like, look, it's your decision, marry her, but I'm going to be there for you, even if this goes south, right?
Yeah.
But then the ultimatum thing was kind of like a little weird, but it did show how strong their bond is.
Right.
So,
but again, I think it was he basically said, if you're gonna follow, I'm just gonna give you, because if he gets married, that's it. This is what you're gonna get.
Yeah. So
And
you're right.
it,
So I don't know.
it's just,
So what are you going to rate it, though?
Well, I think the acting was really good. There was lots of good comedy in it, and there were lots of intersecting characters and so forth that made it really interesting. Even Papu was a little bit interesting in himself.
I loved his shady looks.
yeah. So I'm going to give it an 8. But I'm again, I'm hesitant about giving it an 8, but because of the quality of all the acting, I also give a little bit of extra scoring to movies that at least are making me think a whole lot.
Sure. Okay. I mean, we've had a long discussion. Like this discussion has gone pretty long.
Yeah. So I like that a little bit about this. Is it wasn't as crystal clear and neat and tidied up with a bow. So I like that we've gone through all parts of the movie and we still don't feel settled with it. So I like that in a way. So that's why I'm giving it an 8. Otherwise, it would be a lot lower. So
okay. So for me, I get what you're saying about that, and there's a way a movie can do that and create discussion and stuff like that intentionally and make it obvious that it's intentional and that you enjoy trying to come up with all these different solutions. This is not one of them for me, because here's like, I feel like there needed to be more direction to her character, because at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, I feel like I don't know her direction, even subtle hints. Like, it's like they confused the heck out of me with the whole Gold Digger song during the intermission, right before intermission. You know, that confused me. If you remove that, I feel like her direction was more of the control. And so it was just that. And you know, so I was going to meet you, like I was feeling what you're feeling, but at the same time, I'm just like, there was too much of that. But here's what I did like. With you, I like the acting. I mean, the timing was really good. The looks, there was so much comedy without any dialogue.
Looks and movements.
Yeah, and so I love that. I love that they were able to really hold you in without so much dialogue. I mean, there was a whole scene that was just look, dagger, dagger, dagger. It was awesome. Yeah, so good. It was like comedy gold. I loved it. It was really nice. The music was really good in this. Like, I think the majority of these songs have made some sort of one of my playlists, like in the past, right? So I've heard almost every single one of these songs, whether it was on the radio or just pops up on my Spotify or something like that, right? So I've heard these songs. I really like them, so that was really good. None of the dance numbers really felt out of place, so I really liked how they integrated with the story. I liked the story overall up until there was no payoff at the end. I wanted her to like have this almost breakdown, because the movie made us really not like her for so long. And was her being left at the altar like that? No, it kind of made me feel sad for her.
It did make me feel sad
instead of like, haha, you got what you get, you know? Like, I didn't feel that. I didn't, you know, but the character that they made me feel, I wanted to feel like, haha, you get what you get. But at the same time, I'm like, she's crying and she's left at the altar. What actually did she do wrong?
She also kind of had a smile at the same time, and I was kind of like,
maybe beautiful friendship. I have no idea.
I'm like, again, it's very ambivalent. It's very ambivalent.
So for me, it's not I'm just trying to come up with endings and stuff like that in these discussions to be not so confused, rather than be intrigued to find out like what the secret answers are. You know what I mean? It's like more like, I'm just confused, you know? And that's what I'm left with, is more confused. But I did get pretty emotional watching like their friendship and stuff, because I mean, I think a lot of people, most people could probably connect with having a really close friend that they've gone through so much with, and that they've had to like jump through hurdles and had this one thing that could stand in the way of their friendship. And then having it come through in the end, you know, and just having that bond to be even stronger, I think is like a pretty powerful feeling. And so I felt that. So I'm, with the rating and stuff, it's like, ooh, I liked so much about it, and I'm not going to knock too much for it not having an ending, but I'm going to rate it a 7, because I was thoroughly entertained, and it was just that confusion thing at the end. If not for the confusion, if she would have had more direction of her character, I'd probably meet you there at an 8. But I thought it was definitely worth a watch of a movie, and it was fun. I mean, I'm going to have to tell you the word that they were using that they were bleeping out, because I know what that word is, so I'm going to teach it to you right after we are done here, but I'm not going to say that word on camera because they had to bleep it for a reason. So if you live in Delhi, and this is one thing too, is if you live in Delhi, now I don't know about anywhere else, but I've lived in Delhi, and so I know people throw that word around like crazy. Like in one sentence, he said it like 4 times. And I mean, it's true, like anyway. So it's just how you talk.
Okay.
But all right, thank you so much for joining us. And this was the poll winner. So if you voted, again, thank you so much for voting and letting us know what your choices are. And if you didn't vote, remember you could always vote by going over to our Patreon page by clicking that button right there where you can join a membership tier of your choice. But all of them come with voting, so go over and vote. Let us know what we should watch next. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, or like button पर थप्पड़ मारो.